Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. I have Ali with us today, and we're going to be talking about the Lily Jack Sullivan case. Some of the news that is, obviously, that's out there already, and a little bit that Ali have picked up. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to read some of the article, and this is from CBC News. And it goes on to say, oh, Ali, sorry, do you want to say hello to the Streamliners?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Sorry, darling.
That's all right, Marvin. This is a surprise this morning on a Friday. Um, am I on entertainment or am I on investigations? Which?
We're on entertainment. But
Oh, okay.
what I'm going to
Okay.
do, Ali, I'm going to put it out on both channels. So
Oh, okay.
at least then, obviously, you can respond on the investigations as well. I think that's the best thing to do on this one.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning. Good afternoon. Is it? Oh,
Yeah, still in the morning.
oh, right.
See,
Okay.
just about. So I'm going to
Oh,
read some of the article from CBC News. It says the polygraphed a blanket and a boot print. New details of investigations into missing NS children revealed. So they ask Daniel, obviously in the polygraph test, did you kill Lily and Jack? Question mark. That was the first question Daniel Martel says he was asked during a polygraph test in the case of the two missing Nova Scotia children. He said, I was extremely nervous, said Martel, the stepfather of Lily and Jack Sullivan, who vanished nearly 7 weeks ago. I'm just absolutely shocked, Ali, how time's gone so quickly.
oh my goodness me, yeah. And it's Nova Scotia as well, Marvin.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, 7 weeks is a long time.
yeah,
But I've kind of caught up with this today. I was listening last night to quite a few things
yeah.
because I know Sunny Austin quite well because she's married to an English guy who I knew.
Mm.
And I just love her music as well.
Wow.
But this case is, well, it's been running along, hasn't it? I mean, so many twists and turns. It's just two little children, and where on earth are they? But I think we know now more or less where they are, don't we?
Well, like I said, we will get to that point in a minute because obviously I know you've got a little bit more information than I have. I am a little bit behind on the case, but I was listening to Mama D last night, and she put me sort of a little bit back on track. I'm just going to read on a little bit more. And Martel went on to say, it's like your stress levels is just astronomically through the roof, and your body doesn't know what to do because it's not every day the way you are hooked up to a machine, an interrogation room where someone asks you questions like that. Martel had offered to take a polygraph test early on in the investigations, which he did, realising investigators were likely looking his way in the mysterious disappearance of Lily 6 and Jack 4. On the morning of May the 2nd, police received a 911 call reporting they had wandered away from their homes in Lansdowne stations, a sparsely populated, heavily wooded area about 140 km northeast of Halifax. The disappearance sparked extensive searches that have so far turned into little evidence, and as nearly a dozen RCMP units tried to piece together what happened to the young siblings. Meanwhile, those closest to the children are revealing new details about the case that has captivated people across the world. So that was some of the article, people, and that was CBC News. And if anyone wants to go over and see that, it was a story by Ali Thompson yesterday. So, Ali, that obviously last point that, meanwhile, those closest to the children are revealing new tales about the case, the family members that captivate us all, really, because all we want is to find these children alive. What's your points on this and sort of the new information which has come out?
Well, I've got the breakdown of the data on missing children and people in that area.
Fabulous, yeah.
And it's less than 1% abductions. So, it's not very high on the count. It's usually more involved than that. And we know now that an ex-cop who is a member of the family, of Malehya's family, took it upon himself to have a little look. And it was a bit more suspicious to him because he also is a member, as I say, of the family.
Right.
And his name is Darwood O'Grady.
Darwood O'Grady.
Yes, yeah. Don't think it's Irish, but
No.
he's from the area, and he's part of this this reserve group, as we know, who have their own kind of setup over there. And he kind of triggered Malehya to actually do another runner with the baby yesterday. So he's been looking into it more, and I listened to him last night.
Do we know Darwood? Who is he related to? Is it Malehya's side of the family or Daniel's?
Yes, it's Malehya's side of the family.
Right.
They belong to a group which is on the reservation up there.
Yeah.
And her side of the group is called Brooks.
Right.
And Malehya is part of this reservation. I think there's about 13,000 of them, is there?
Wow.
I think it's quite big because it also covers Turtle Island, which is just off the coast of Halifax
and they've also been quite respectful to the police in the information that they've been sort of given to them as well, and helpful in the past. Is that true?
Absolutely lovely people. They're quite gentle people, really, but they've got their own kind of rules and regulations and their way they go about their business, so to speak. But Darwood O'Grady had actually dropped a bombshell last night, of which Malehya picked up on, and then she did a runner with the baby.
Oh my God.
She was at her mother's place, Cindy's place, in Wentworth, which is about an hour and a half, I think, from Lansdowne Road.
Okay.
And Lansdowne Station. And she was staying there with her mother, but when she heard that, she did a runner, and it appears now that the children were actually put in a vehicle at the end of the driveway in Lansdowne Station by her.
Oh my God. And this
on
is
that morning before sunrise, but she got caught out.
Because wasn't it Daniel's mum who pulled up not long after while she was still outside?
Malehya didn't realise that she was home, and Janie, I think her name is, spotted her at the end of the drive and went down to see her, and she was playing with her phone when she saw a vehicle kind of disappear around the corner. That's as I took it anyway. And this Darwood O'Grady also was 90% sure, or is 90% sure, he knew who drove that vehicle.
Okay.
He hasn't given any names as yet, but I'm sure he will today.
Do you think he's liaising with the police with that? That's why he's not said anything.
He's an ex-copper.
Oh, I see. That speaks for itself then. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, but she had actually put the children in this vehicle before sunrise, but didn't realise that Janie was there and caught her out.
So,
and that's where
this Janie is Daniel's mum.
It's Daniel's mother.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And didn't she also live on the property as well in a trailer?
Yeah, they've got another trailer there with a tarpaulin on the top. Now, I don't know whether she's there permanently. I think so, but I think she works, and she was just got home or something, and saw Malehya at the end of the drive. Yeah, and that's when it all kicked off.
Wow.
And Malehya's half-brother
Mm-hmm.
is also involved in this getaway, but I haven't got a name for him yet.
Surely, though, she could be pulled in for wasting police time and also all the searchers that were out there. And if she does know Malehya, where the children are, it sounds like there's a high percentage that they're still alive, and thank God for that. But surely the time that's been wasted, and if and she's done all this just to get away from Daniel because of his controlling ways, that's surely a bit bizarre and over the top, though, Ali.
Well, I think by all accounts, Dawood was saying that everything happened so fast, and it was just, an ongoing reaction all the time. And Daniel was trying, because Daniel actually loves Malehya, apparently, and he was trying to protect her as well, because, of course, he's got this little girl, Meadow, with her.
Yes, that's right.
And he was just trying to cover a bit, but she wanted to get away from the situation they were in. That's how I read it.
What about?
I mean, I don't know that I'm 100% on this yet because it's been happening so fast overnight.
Yeah, something's got to give soon, because, like I said, the police have been quite really professional about it, and just waiting for. It seems like the two families seem to be at war with, but everyone keeps talking about it. And with Daniel, I saw his interview yesterday. He seems very, very confident in himself. I'm not sure. One minute I trust him and thinking he seems like an all right lad, and another time people are actually saying there's some suspicion in it. And he seems to know the woodland very, very, very well as well, and the landscape.
Well, I'm sure he does, because he's a lumberjack, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sawmills and things, and of course that's what most of the economy around that area deals in, although I know that he's only working one day a week, so things must be tight. But there's a few more bits and pieces that have come out this morning which have kind of grabbed my attention.
Okay.
I believe now that Meadow is now in the hands of the CPS.
Okay. And for those who don't know what this CPS is that Child Protection Department or something?
That's right, Child Protection Services, yes.
Okay.
So that is because she just did a runner from her mother's when she heard that Darwood, get his name right, Darwood O'Grady, who's the ex-copper, but he's also a distant relative. He had dropped the bombshell. She fled her mother's, Cindy's place, in Wentworth, and now we believe she's up at the reserve at Supernaka.
Okay.
Which is the more north. I don't know exactly. I haven't managed to find time to look it up, actually. But she's actually on the reserve there because the chief of the reserve, his brother, is also her lawyer. So apparently her lawyer's dealing with it.
Oh, my God. It does. The good thing about this case, even though they've given the police a bit of a runaround, Susie, it does. We've got to look at that, though, that the kids may still be alive.
Well, I think they are. There's no reason to disbelieve that either. Belinda Gray, which is the bio grandmother, she has been really good because Sunny and her have been having a good chat about it all. And like everybody else, she just said she couldn't see Malehya hurting the children, and nor could anybody else, to be honest with you. So I think that the latest statement coming from Daniel said he would see her in jail, but I think he's just a bit upset that she's just gone off.
I also heard that he was due, Daniel was due to see his daughter, basically by a supervised visit, and that was coming up as well, and that was one of the other reasons why Malehya had made a run for it.
Yeah, I mean, another person that's in on the scene over there seems to be her half-brother, who's called Logan, and he posted on Facebook, and you know I don't do Facebook, but apparently he had posted on there that Daniel's upset because he was due to see Meadow, and of course that's not happening, is it?
No, wow. Wow, I do feel sorry for, but like I said, but hasn't Daniel got other kids from somebody else, which he doesn't see those kids, which is quite
he's
bizarre.
got another 2 children, but I don't know their names. I could look them up, but I don't know their names off the top of my head. And I know that he doesn't really see them very much.
Yeah.
I don't know what the story is there. To be honest, I don't.
I mean, people are wondering why at the end of the day, and like I said, and it has to be said that sometimes SA could be in the background in these cases, which is very, very worrying.
Well, possibly. I didn't want to go there on that.
No, we don't know, but like I said, but it has been mentioned. But like I said, we just have to see, obviously, what the RCMP come out with next at the end of the day. But like I said, that has been sort of brought up quite a few times on a few channels as well. But like I said, we don't know enough about that to obviously go deeply into that.
No,
but
the only thing I will say on that is that the RCMA, is it?
RCMP. Yeah.
RCMP, yeah, sorry. They are looking into it because a lot of people have noticed that on that Thursday night, which I believe was the 1st of May, there was a lot of cars pulled up in the driveway and along that road.
Yeah.
That they thought there was a party going on.
Daniel dismissed that though, didn't he?
Well, that hasn't really been investigated properly, but
I agree. Yeah.
The police are now being pressed into looking into that more. So, I mean, we shall just have to wait and see. Joseph Morris, glad to see him back last night as well.
I like him because, like I said, he really gets into the nitty gritty, and we got to remember that he was scared off by Chris Tenerife on the Jay Slater case, and I do think he's, I know people say he's been no angel in the past at the end of the day, but he's very professional in the times I've seen him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he is very professional, and I don't know why he's frightened by Chris Tenerife, the athlete. Do you? But,
the athlete, I like that. Yeah.
I mean, I just hope that they get these little children, at least if they're safe, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Everything else can be sorted out. It's just making sure that the children, and Malehya herself, that everybody's all right and they're taken care of.
Yeah.
But she must have wanted to get out there pretty desperate, I would think.
Yeah. So
to have done what she did. But then it all kicked off, didn't it? I mean, and I suppose he was confident in doing the polygraph test as everybody else was, because he knew that they'd gone with her, in the car. So he had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, I agree. Right, so that is it for Streamline Entertainment, people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually stop it there, but I'm going to just continue with Ali a little bit longer for Streamline Investigations, because I just want to, those who write messages, myself and Ali will go through the messages when we've both got some time. So for Streamline Entertainment, thank you very much, people. If anyone wants to get the extended version, then it'll be on Streamline Investigations. Thank you very much.
Extended version?
Yes. So yeah, I was just saying, Ali, this is for Streamline Investigations now. Is that if anyone's obviously got any questions and what we've been talking about, we're always willing to answer them, and we may even, if we've got some time over this weekend, go through them together and try them answer them together as best we can.
Yeah, I mean, this is happening so quickly on this case.
Yes, it is. It's quite bizarre, isn't it?
It is. Looking at the data percentages I got from that area, which were interesting, I mean, Nova Scotia itself had 32,680 missing persons last year. 23,219 were runaways. 90% were solved in a week by the RCMP. Solved in, 90% were solved, and less than 1% were strangers or adult abductions. So, they RCMP seem to do a pretty good job, I would think.
Do you know what, Ali? I never ever felt that those kids were abducted. Because
no, I didn't. And they weren't really abducted, were they?
No.
It was an organised getaway. That's what I would call it.
Yeah, with family involved. So we might as well just say an inside job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was an inside job.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right. I couldn't put it better. Thank you, Marvin. That inside job. I should have to remember that.
Do you? I mean, look, I do feel for Daniel in the way, because do feel sorry for him in a way, because, like I said, he's the one that has to pick up all the pieces. His missus has left him. He can't see his toddler, which is it's quite worrying. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it is really. It's very sad when these things happen. But if she wasn't happy, then she's not happy, is she? And I think the reserve and the group that she is embedded and grew up with, it was a pull, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I think it was a partial pull. It must have been. But who knows? Hopefully she'll get some help herself, because
it does sound like she's mental health problems, possibly postnatal depression as well, and this should be looked into. She seems vulnerable, and the great thing is, we say great, but like I said, the good thing is that she actually did go to her mother's house, because, like I said, her mother could keep an eye on her and the little one as well.
I think it all happened so fast, and they were just firefighting it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And with not a lot of resources either. Just think about that. They've had to rely on other people to help them out on this.
It makes, because, I know it's a sad thing to case. If those kids had died in the woods, I think they would have been found by now. I just can't see a 6 and a 4-year-old going that far. They would definitely start getting scared and hungry and start crying and try and work their way back. I just couldn't see them just going for miles and miles and miles. I mean, it was said once that they maybe tried to get to school because they wanted to go to school that morning at the end of the day, but someone would have seen them.
Well, a 4-year-old in a diaper, or a pull-up as they call it, and a 6-year-old little girl. Do you know what? When my children were young, would they walk all that way? No. After 20 minutes, they'd be sitting on the ground, kicking their heads and kicking their legs in the air, screaming for blue murder to be picked up.
I just couldn't see children that young walking through bushes.
No,
and through,
I can't either.
Thick, dense bushes. I think they would have gone so far and got scared or heard something and ran back to the house. I really do think that.
Yeah. And what kind of things can they do? I mean, it's quite an isolated place, so there's not a lot of things going on to interest them, although I believe entirely it's good to get out there in the woods and do things. But if there's only a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, they've got no interaction with anybody else, have they, much?
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ali, for your basically help on this case and the updates on that brilliantly. But we've got a few more things coming up on an expert on brain trauma.
Yeah.
Are you? How's that going to play out? Are you going to technically just you're going to make a video of having a conversation with her, and then we'll eventually put it out on Streamline?
Well, we've got two things coming up because, of course, we've got the Jay Slater inquest.
Yes.
Which isn't booked yet. I mean, I've looked again today, there's nothing, and I shall speak with them again on Monday. I do every week, as you know. We've got Kaz, who actually was one of my helpers when I had a head trauma. And she was in Mount Gould Neuro Hospital.
Right.
Now, I know she's dealing with something today, but she is ringing me later, and we're hoping to do a recording of brain injuries and falling from heights, etc. And then also I've got Mr. Paul, what's his name? Just trying to find it. Well, it's from the Derriford Crown Hill, the neurosurgeon down there, Mr. Paul Fewings, it is. His secretary, Anne Pengali, is ringing me. She's already left a message today.
Oh, wonderful.
And we're hoping to go down there. It's the Regional Specialist Teaching Trust on brain and fall injuries. And we're going to hopefully have a look into the work that they do and interview him.
Wonderful.
They have the Radio Academy, is the only purpose-built radio academy in the world, and provides an inspirational environment in which to learn radiography. So that's really interesting. That's up my street. So we're hoping to tie that one up next week, but we're very much aware that they're really busy. So I shall have to just drop everything and go when that happens.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 or 3 things getting ready for Mr. Long, the new coroner up in Preston.
Let's just hope, Ali, that he's got all the sufficient information on the witnesses that he needs. I think this is kind of crucial.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think that they can throw it out this time, to be honest.
No. But what will...
If the witnesses don't turn up, they will be issued with an arrest warrant if they've already had a summons. But even then, if they don't turn up, I think that he will just go on what he finds in black and white, and I'm actually feeding it in my reports up to him as well.
Yeah. So, we will sort of do something again if we've got time on the, obviously, there's still a lot of conversation on the Jay Slater case, and it's something that we feel very, very passionate about. But on the Lily Jack O'Sullivan, let's just hope, just my final thought, is that let's just hope they're found soon, basically, and that they are safe and sound. That's all we want, so we can actually close this case down, and that obviously maybe Daniel needs some kind of help, and Malehya as well. I think this is quite important that they get the help they deserve, especially if there's mental health problems or they have been struggling in their relationship. Let's just hope this is all sorts itself out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to say that they're on that reserve. If they're on that reserve, they'll be safe, and that's the main thing. And we just hope that they get the help they need. Like a lot of people in the world at the moment, the world is in turmoil, isn't it?
Ali, thank you very much, because you've got a bit of a cough, and I know that you've had quite a busy week travelling and going different places. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, a bit. You don't know what I do, Martin.
Yeah, I know you do a hell of a lot, and you do a hell of a lot for the channel, but we all really appreciate what you do, and that's from the bottom of the heart.
Yeah. Well, I've had baby seagulls here.
Oh, my God.
Which have been a bit of a pain, to be honest. Yeah, so it's been an interruption if nothing else. But we've got beautiful weather, and we've got to be thankful for that, so that people can get outdoors and enjoy themselves.
Well, I'm going to let you have your lunch, dear.
Oh, thank you. What have I got today then, Marvin? What are you sending over today? I'm still waiting for my Marks and Spencer's half a prawn sandwich to arrive.
Yeah. I think it's too hot to send them. I'll have to send you a bottle of...
curled up and died by now.
Yeah, actually, I got myself a lovely bottle of wine, and I think I'll pick you one up, Ali. I think it's South African, but it's absolutely beautiful. What I'll do, I'll send you a picture of it, and I may even send you a bottle.
That'll be the day, Marvin.
Yeah. Oi! It's the thought that counts.
I will, if it comes, I'm going to do a live, just to say.
Oh, wow.
Just to say, here I am, I've got my, and I think we ought to put the bottle on the screen, and I ought to invite some friends in to prove that we're drinking it.
I'll have my bottle this end as well.
Well, you'll get that before I get mine, I expect.
Yeah. That's absolutely brilliant. Right, thank you, Ali, and thank you to all the streamliners. So this is the extended version for Streamline Investigations. And we will, when Ali's got time and I've got time, we'll definitely look at the messages and reply to all the messages. But there is a lot more to come. There's a lot of obviously video and filming going to be happening behind the scenes, and it's going to be very, very interesting, especially to hear from an expert on head injuries. That is going to be, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can do live film on that, but I'm very much in the hands of our lovely NHS.
That's absolutely fabulous. Once again, Ali, thank you very much for your full support in the channel. And like I said, we will do something again soon. And like I said, if the public wants us to cover any other case or me to look into something, and I can ask Ali for a little bit of help if she's got time on it, then let us know, because there's a lot of people going missing at the moment. And it's quite sad.
Well, I'll be missing if I don't get my bottle of wine.
No, I've mentioned it. I've got to send it, haven't I? I promise I will.
I shall pick myself up off the floor, literally, when it arrives.
Right, thank you very much, everyone. Love you and leave you. Thank you for your support. And once again, thank you, Ali, for being part of the channel.
Okay, take care, everybody. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.